What I felt about Trinity when I came in here was it was so abundantly clear to me that the children were loved.
Into the brain.
From the ears to the brain. So it should.
If you can turn the child on to reading and learning the way this place does, you have done a magnificent thing.
I like that you told us about a lot of different sports, but then I kind of knew it was time for your story to end because of the last sentence. Could you read that again?
My 3-year-old daughter can't wait to go to school on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she bounds out of the car and never looks back and comes home with a smile.
What? Oh, gosh. You got a little wound. Yeah. Well, you know what? There goes the bell. You don't have to go to early morning. Why don't you go right into the room?
He was not one that separated easily from me. And I brought him over here and dropped him off, and he had his little lunch, and he went in, and when he came out, he had his little bag, and we got in the car. He said, "I made you something today." And he opened up his little book bag, and inside was this little piece of paper that had a couple little tear stains at the bottom, but there was a sentence on it that said, "I missed you today, Mom." And the fact that somebody had sat down and taken the time to listen to him and be aware of the way he felt and how important that was meant everything to me.
White and black tiger, what do you see? I see a red and green.
I think we can go back and think of one teacher that made an impression on us when we were younger. I think these kids will have the opportunity to say that about many, many people.
Yellow and black cheetah, yellow and black cheetah, what do you see?
The bottom line that I share with in the prospective parent meetings is that we are a school that challenges children's potential without giving them a headache or a stomach ache. You know, so whether that challenge be in social, emotional, intellectual, or any area of a child's total development.
You guys, we have to do the sternum, okay? You want me to do it?
The science program is designed for hands-on experience.
Okay, one of your blood vessels is attached to the pancreas, is it not?
We thought we'd have an integrated project where they would work. Each group would be assigned to 1 or 2 body systems that they're responsible for. And when we began the project, we talked about that as they work, that the body systems didn't work on their own, they had to work together. And in science, we try to relate these situations to life situations all the time and bring in the relationship between what they will deal with personally and emotionally, as well as what they're learning academically.
We're tying on the veins that go out to the shoulder, and this, no I don't. This over here is the jugular vein, and
there was relevance and utility in what was being talked about, as opposed to just words on a page. And I call that active learning. And the thing that's so exciting about that is when you learn that way, later in life you're not bound to a textbook to go back and try to remember or to have it presented to you in a specific way, but more importantly, you can adapt. And I think that was one of the greatest foundations that I did get here.
It would, that's located directly behind your eye, it will make you blink.
how many more is the mountains and the lake?
I'm fascinated by the techniques at Trinity. A lot of direction comes from the teachers, that they have tremendous autonomy and they try new things, but at the same time the curriculum is very integrated. I know that there's a real consistency among the classrooms and communication between the different grade levels to make certain that the basics are learned, but all in the context of fun.
Is it? Yes. So it's 8 times 4 times 2 times 3. No, you mean this is 3.
We do higher level thinking with the children, and we question the children, and we stretch their minds, and because they feel trusted and because they're willing to risk, they share ideas and thoughts, and then they find out how valuable those ideas and thoughts are.
I would tell her to share her feelings, because she's all her feelings and all her thoughts are all kept inside of her, and I think she should tell people kind of what Catherine said.
Oh, a good discussion is where there's disagreement. There's a good discussion is where people are free to express their ideas openly without fear that theirs is going to be put down. In the same way that Anna needed to feel comfortable in her classroom and in her home, these children in my class need to feel comfortable expressing their ideas and realize that even though somebody disagrees with them, that that's okay. as long as they can support it. For the end of the story, where she presents her basket to her parents, and when they feel that safety and that comfort, then any idea is okay. If you had a chance to sit down face to face with Anna and give her some words of advice.
Runners, on your mark, get set.
You have tremendous parent participation at this school that I think really sets it apart.
As a family, we found a real place at Trinity. There's a real emphasis on family and relationships. The school becomes, in a sense, an extended family, but at the same time, there are families that are involved and care about each other, and that carries over, I think, into all aspects of the school experience for these little ones.
You can do it, come on.
By going on the trips, like the field trips we have, Jekyll and Wilderness, you sort of develop trust. And you learn that it helps to work together and to let other people take charge sometimes, but to also not only be a follower, but also be a leader.
We all grew together as a family, and it really helped us to come together and understand each other, especially living together for a week. I mean, none of us had ever done that before. It was just very moving.
They invite them and encourage them and sometimes force them into situations they wouldn't select ordinarily. They put them in groups that they wouldn't select ordinarily. They put them in tents with people they wouldn't select ordinarily. And what happens is you come out much better equipped for life. It's not convenient always. It's not fun always.
I'm really anxious to eat this now.
Y'all get more now.
I mean, that's education to me. That's preparation for life.
Let's think for a minute about your day today, about your friends, new friends, old friends, new experiences.
What I find here is that it is so individual, whether your gift is music or math or English, whatever it is, they have a way of changing gears and being flexible enough to accommodate the child. And that doesn't mean it's a free-for-all. It's much, much harder to teach that way.
It's called the River Nile. And our story today takes place on the River Nile. Now, William Everett said, Pete.
It is fun to interrelate subject areas, and when children become interested in something, we don't have to say, okay, well now stop, we have to go to page 44. We take and develop their interests, and skills come through their interests because we care about skills, but they're learning more out of wanting to learn and wanting to know. They ask for more and more. When can we read more? When can we write more?
We have a Western luncheon. Each group for our wagon train, we're pretending that we're on an Oregon Trail, and and then there's a luncheon, and each group makes up their own menu and prepares it all and brings it in for the parents.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beth, what do you think this story is going to be about?
It may be about a red rose.
It may be about the Red Rose. The Red Rose by Joy Cowley. I'm going to cover up the words and let us just go through and talk about the pictures, and we'll be the author. And whatever we decide it should be, it'll be our story.
The caterpillar is pointing at The man's hand.
At the man's hand.
Music is a part of the life of a child. It's a science, it's language, it's social studies, it is emotional, it's physical, it involves the spirit, and it involves the intellect. I like to take pieces of literature, music literature, and then allow children to dramatize it and to sing the songs that they might otherwise not be exposed to. Therefore, the operas, I think, are just a wonderful way to introduce drama to children.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am touched by this reception. I can only trust that by strict attention to duty, I shall continue to deserve your...
It's one of the best, most memorable experiences of my life. I remember in 6th grade having a true sense of growing and being developed. I was very young at the time and probably couldn't explain it that well, but I had a tremendous sense of being challenged, but supported, and really felt like the sky was the limit.
Quotations when a person's speaking. Is it a period?
Think about that, Dana. Is that right?
What should it be?
No.
What do you call it?
Comma.
Talk about leadership. I really felt like, I was capable as a 6th grader of doing lots of things, and I was given responsibility. And I think respect is just a key thing that elementary school students are really respected.
Mm-hmm.
And you really get that sense that you are mature and that you are old enough to take responsibility, and therefore the children rise to that and really do take responsibility and act as young adults and really thrive underneath that respect, I think.
From that, my hypothesis was that it would run over the sides, but I was wrong. But I was half right because I said that the force of the chemical would be more than gravity. So
that comforting factor started the very first day Catherine walked into Ann McCullough's room in the 2-year-old downstairs, and Ann McCullough said, "Catherine, I have been waiting on you all morning. I'm so happy you're in my class." And from then on, it was just a wonderful, warm, loving, nurturing feeling from the very beginning, and it has been that way ever since. Wonderful. It just couldn't be better. A beautiful 10 years. Oh, my mercy. What am I going to do tomorrow?
My father, Charles Longstreet Weltner, presiding justice, Supreme Court of Georgia.
You have received from your years at Trinity School superb preparation for the next stages of your learning and growth, and you will do well